when I was 11, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, large B cell. It's a type of cancer in my leg. And I wasn't up there for but a week until I got this big old box with a whole bunch of toy police cars and a big old card signed by everybody in the department. That also kind of influenced my decision.
All right, stop me. All right. So we're just going to jump into this. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back, Chief, Cap, and Chap. We got a couple of guests today, and of course, I'm Chief. This is Cap. We don't have Chap. Chap's not here. Not enough microphones to go around. But we got two new employees of ours. I say new. They've actually been around for a little bit, working for the city, both local guys. Yes. And Sykeston School District?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Went to New Madrid, but we'll forgive you, so. You went to Campbell?
I sure did.
Campbell Camels. All right.
I don't know where that is.
No one knows where that is.
I wouldn't be able to tell you where that is either. I'm sorry.
Where we at? So why don't you introduce yourself, Craig? You can start first. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, your age, your bio, your resume.
All right.
Go.
I'm Craig, PSO wear, if you'd like that term. I don't know if we're using our work names or not.
Yeah.
But I'm Craig, and that's a call. But I'm 23, and I moved to Sykeston when I was 4 years old, and I've lived here. I grew up here ever since. There's not really much else there, I graduated from Sykeston.
Where'd you move from?
St. Louis. I was born.
St. Louis?
Yeah, I was born in St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like inner city or out in the suburbs or?
Baldwin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vance, what about you?
My name's Vance. I grew up in Sykeston my whole life. I went to Sykeston School District starting off at junior high. I went to private school over at TCA. And then I quit going at sophomore year.
Yeah.
I went to Cape private school. But, yeah, I worked for the city since I was about 15 in the Parks Division. And then the streets. And then
Since you were 15?
Yeah. So
wow.
I did a couple of...
I knew you worked there. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah,
Man, his loggers retirement's going to be awesome, isn't it?
I asked.
You
them,
already
like,
vested.
Can I keep it? And they're like, no, you can't keep it. You kept leaving on us. But did a couple on and off jobs. I worked at a coffee shop for a little bit, but anything that got me paid. But yeah, I not much to my life. Just grew up in Sykeston, a simple guy. Just did all kinds of stuff. So.
Your dad was a PSO here.
He was,
right?
yeah, in the 90s. He's really old.
Yeah. Yeah, he's older than me, I think.
Yeah. He's almost
Chief's 52 today, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, Chief.
52.
Yeah, thanks, John.
You're
All
welcome.
right. So we just kind of want to talk about the academy. These guys are in our local academy that's through the Sheriff's Association, and that's been going on since the middle of May.
Seems like forever, don't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's normally like 4.5 months, but this one's however long that is. Next month's going to be graduation. So
Yeah, you guys have been pulling double duty. You've been working your fire shifts and then doing the academy on top of that. So that's been some long days for you for the last several months, hasn't it?
It has.
yeah, which saves us money.
And makes them money because they actually get they're getting a lot
That's
of
true,
overtime.
That's always.
But overall, saves us money.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not running people up and down the interstate to get them to Cape and all that stuff. I mean, Cape's been a good academy for us. That's where I went. That's where you went. But
yeah, and there was 11 guys. We've never had the opportunity to send 11 guys through the academy, police academy at one time. So, and these two young men get to join us on the streets here in about a month, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we already got them scheduled. We can't get them all on the road right away. We don't have enough trained officers, or we got to leave some people in fire division too. So, but anyway, so how has fire division treated you?
That's my bread and butter.
Is it?
I think everybody knows that. I love fire.
Okay, we got to find somebody else. Go get somebody else in here.
This is not looking
I'm just
good.
joking. I'm joking.
I'm also ready for the streets. I'm skeptical about it. I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm confident that I'm going to do good. I'm glad I got a good FTO. Old Mr. Riddle, been on the streets forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But Fire Division's treated me really well, especially with James and Sergeant Willie, and then with the captain out there. And yeah,
I think you just called your FTO
I know, right?
old.
He is.
You're not
wise.
starting out good there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I'm ready for the streets though too. So.
So you've been in Fire Division for how long now?
A year.
A year. Craig, how long have you been in?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Wow.
So you're really looking forward to getting a little change of pace, aren't
Yeah.
you?
So
Now, when Craig started, I was like, who hired this 15-year-old kid? Because you look so young.
I did. So you
Yeah.
mean that I look older? I look older now.
Well, it's the mustache, I think, that helps
I
quite
did.
a bit.
I did
You know,
shave. I did shave before I got the job.
I was like, man, I'm getting old. You know, but so you like Fire Division?
Fire Division was kind of a bonus for me because when I started, I kind of wanted to go through and do the police side.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't even know that you did fire and police.
Right.
I guess I just didn't do enough of my homework or look at our patch.
Yeah.
It says police and fire.
That's what I always show people. I'm like, hey, got to look at the patch. We do both. You know.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So whenever I was sent to the fire station, I was like, okay, cool. I'll hang out with these guys for a little bit. So they send me to the police academy. And 3.5 years later,
Finally, huh?
I'm getting through it, and I'm ready. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it. I think it's going to be a good deal. I mean, going into that, before you got into the academy, what was y'all's perception about Patrol Division? I mean, you probably had some knowledge just from your dad and talking about it and everything. So,
Yeah, big community about Sykeston. That's what he always told me, the community work that Sykeston does, rodeo, the parade and carnival, all the things we have throughout the year. But it's also the professionalism that you guys have, the black uniforms and black and white cars, traditional stuff that you guys keep that I enjoy. I like tradition a lot, but it's more nerve-wracking than I think than fire. But I think that's just every new thing, kind of like going to high school for the first time, so.
well, I think the difference is what I've noticed is like when you're in Fire Division, you're often working together as a team. Yeah. And in Patrol Division, you're often out by yourself, unless it's a major event or something like that. And you get back up here and there. But by and large, you're somewhat isolated is maybe not the right word, but you're on your own a good deal of time. And expectations can be high. And when you're by yourself, it's a little stressful, I think,
Most definitely.
Starting out,
One of the things I always tell the new guys starting out in their FTO process is it's going to be completely overwhelming for you. And if you weren't nervous, then I'd say there's something wrong with you. And you're going to see that, probably that first week or so, you're really just kind of observing. You're not really necessarily hands-on, which you guys are going to be sped up on that process a little bit because you've kind of been exposed to a lot of the things we do day to day. But you're going to see early on, maybe 2-3 weeks into there, you're going to think to yourself, you're going to be completely overwhelmed. You're going to think, how in the world am I ever, which you guys are already kind of familiar with the streets too. So you're really ahead of the curve there, but you're thinking to yourself, how am I ever going to remember all of these streets and the 100 blocks of this street and what intersection this is? How am I going to remember all that? How am I going to remember all these state statutes and these RSMOs and these city ordinances? And now I've got to operate all this computer stuff. Yeah. How am I going to remember?
You're creating quite the panic.
I've got 15 logins to different.
John, stop it, man. What
I'm saying is, what I'm getting at here is
they're going to resign today.
No,
man.
I'm just going to tell you. I try to make everybody comfortable here. You're going to completely feel overwhelmed, and that's normal. But what I'm telling you is, you're going to come in one day, maybe, towards the end of your FTO, and you're going to think, you're going to start remembering things that maybe you thought, there's no way I'm ever going to remember this. And you're going to build confidence, and it's going to be okay. So, you're going to have those moments of panic, but it's going to be fine. I promise you.
There is, oddly, a repetitive, cyclical rookie performance. What you're talking about. You start out, you're doing good, and you learning, and then you hit that crash where everything's overwhelming, and then you come back out of that. I mean, almost everybody does that. It would be unusual if you didn't do that. So,
yeah, and your field training officers are going to intentionally stress you. You're going to come in some days and you're going to get every single call. Every call that comes out, whether it's a traffic accident or just some unique call, and maybe another officer's district, and your FTS is going to say, hey, we're going to take that for training. So there's going to be days where he's going to intentionally like kind of overwhelm you just to kind of see how you react to that.
Yeah.
Don't panic. You're going to be fine.
So Craig, why law enforcement? Why were you thinking about that?
So, me being close to my family in St. Louis, my uncle actually he's been in the police service for over 40 years now. Yeah. So, seeing him do the things that he did, like with public service, and just like Mr. Terrell said, the professionalism, it really stuck to me, and I like being nice to people, and like helping people, and I like getting out and talking to people.
Right.
So why not do all of that for a good cause?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I asked you, because I'm like, Craig, come in here, he'll talk. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's an aspect of policing that I kind of had to learn because I'm more introverted, and it's just, I don't know, it does not come natural to me,
Yeah, I was the same way, and I know people won't believe this that really know me. I'm on my best behavior on this podcast, but I like to really cut up and sometimes be slightly inappropriate. But
it's concerning that you're on your best behavior.
I really am. I am right now.
Everybody listening is like, "Oh, crap!"
Man, I remember I'm a really introverted person too, and really shy naturally. And I remember, as a young kid, wanted to be in law enforcement. Wanted to be a police officer. And go to Three Rivers and get a degree, or associate's degree in law enforcement, and then go to the police academy. And I started the academy, and then had to actually be like hands-on, like felony vehicle stops and telling the driver, with your right hand, remove the keys from your vehicle, and then then defensive tactics. And it was extremely awkward for me to like be assertive and tell people what to do, and then go hands-on. It was like. And I kind of questioned myself. I'm like, man, is this is really uncomfortable for me? Is this something I really want to do? And I was like, I know I want to do it. I really want to do it. And I got over it. Yeah. So
I always say I had my fear of failure was a little bit more than my shyness and stuff. But the awkwardness, I think, is amplified on domestic calls because first of all, you have a couple, right? And they know each other very well. You're in their home oftentimes, and you go in their home and you start telling them what needs to happen, how we're going to resolve this, which is it's a little awkward, but you get there. It's just part of it, So, Vance, were you wanting to follow your dad's footsteps on that, or is that?
He didn't talk much about it, especially our family's history too. I mean, it wasn't really a thing. I think he wanted me to choose what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I think. It's going to sound funny, but just watching Cops growing up, that's honestly probably the main reason why I wanted to do it. Yeah. All the old Crown Vics and the big old box radios and stuff, and people jumping out and running after people. But the more you grew up, the more you realize that police do a lot more than arresting people. And your guys' involvement with the CIT and stuff like that. It's, I'm young. It's still hard to understand sometimes. Yeah. But I can see where it has its place. So it's a lot more than the Crown Vic days, you know what I mean? So it's after I talked to my dad about it, I saw Miss Paula's episode where she was like the phase on where like I want you to do it. That was a little bit like I don't know because I'm shy. I'm really shy. Right. But, he's happy I did it, and I think he's happy I'm in Sykeston too. So it's I like it. I like it so far. I'm ready. So yeah.
So tell us about the academy. I mean, so we got mostly our guys teaching that, and sometimes Sheriff Association comes in a little bit, but we're using their curriculum. How's that been?
I think it's been really good. The fact that we have our own guys teaching it, because, I've heard stories about, every department teaches it a certain way to where it fits into their department. Like, CAPE, it's more of how they do things and whatnot. They still teach all the essentials, but it's more like how they do it. Down here, it's a lot more broad because not only are we going through the Missouri Sheriff's Association, but we also have our guys teaching it. So we get a little bit of both worlds,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of what we were hoping for when we were doing that, But do you have just kind of going back, do you have a different perspective I guess coming from Sykes and coming from the community, I mean, of course, I didn't. I wasn't raised here or anything. Came here and got groceries and stuff like that. That's about it. But how does the community play into your decision to be a law enforcement officer?
Well, I mean, me being partly raised here, it's more or less me wanting to give back to the community. You know, I've been given a lot of second chances, not just by this community, but you know, in life itself.
Yeah.
With not to pry into my own self, but when I was 11, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, large B cell. It's a type of cancer in my leg, and I wasn't up there for but a week until I got this big old box with a whole bunch of toy police cars and a big old car signed by everybody in the department. That also kind of influenced my decision because it was the community and the department that gave it to me. The way that I could return that is by, you know.
Yeah, I think, especially in law enforcement, for sure. I mean, and even in fire, you know, and in your case, in that case, you're obviously at a low point. I mean, so victims of crime go through that as well. And when you can be present and help people when they're at that low point of their life, I mean, even suspects of crime, you know what I mean? It's like people often make bad choices and stuff like that, and you can still have empathy. You still have to do your job and arrest people, do PC affidavits. But it does give you an opportunity to kind of, as Jason would say, what does Jason say? I'm trying to remember what
he says a lot.
Serve opportunity to serve them. That's what he would say, you know, and I like that aspect of it. Of course, I am getting older. You know, I don't know that 52. I thought that.
52.
I don't know that I thought that coming right out of the gate. You know, mostly I was just trying to learn how to do the job. I was just interested in it, and then as you get into it, you kind of see how you have those opportunities. So it's good. I mean, it's interesting you say that. So, what have you liked most about the academy?
That we're all employed here. That's the main part. You know,
is it the PT?
I thought you were going to say PT.
Yeah, I was, you know, and I'm thinking it. I was like, no, because like they're going to think that's such a me answer. But
yeah,
I really do like the physical taxing part about the job.
Yeah, I got to mention that Craig here, he's been, you know, they have a run that they have to do in a certain time period, and Craig, he's been shooting for less than a 6-minute mile, which I think 6 minutes and 4 seconds is the best you've got, right?
6 minutes, yes.
Yeah, and that day that he did the 6 minute, 4 second mile, it was about 100 degrees outside.
Hot. Yeah. It was so hot.
Yeah.
I think in high school I did like 6:17 or something, but that's
really good.
That was for me really good because I'm slow, you know. But I weighed like 185 pounds then, you know.
Yeah, Craig's trying to beat me, so he'll get there one day.
Yeah, I'll catch up. I'll catch up one day. Yeah,
he'll get there. So tell us about the PT and all that stuff. What do they have you do?
As captain, anything under the book. It did help me. It didn't help me at the time. I kind of didn't like him whenever he was making.
You didn't like me.
I'm a big boy, so I'm playing. It was fun. My push-ups. I'll be honest with you, I could do 3 before this, and just doing it by myself, and you telling us to do it, and I can do more now. So it's good. But Craig probably, Craig got an A in physical stuff. So
yeah. I've always been
so running, push-ups, and
yeah. So we have to do 13 push-ups in a minute, 24 sit-ups in a minute. And then we have to run a mile in 15 minutes and some odd seconds.
Which is a really long time.
It is a really long time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 4 miles an hour. That's the pace.
Yeah. That's the minimal acceptable standard is what that is. Yeah.
Pace walk.
But they do a lot more than 13 push-ups, and they do a lot better than just what the minimum is.
Yeah. So. Sure. Yeah. Well, so, but that's been pretty good. I mean, everybody loves that.
Yeah. Like I've been.
I'll speak for my own on that.
Yeah.
Like I've been telling the guys, it's these standards are something that we can all meet. So it hasn't really been like a race against each other or a race against the time. It's been a race against ourselves. Like we want to go
improve.
Yeah,
just to improve.
Just to improve yourself. You know, because you never know when you're going to need that, that extra mile you ran a week later, that might help you chase down a guy, or just simple health. It's
right.
really good to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think the health aspect of it's probably the most important for sure. I mean, because you're dealing with all this stress, and you got to have that physical activity and develop that habit, to help you. Do you think the physical aspect of it is more difficult, or the mental aspect of the academy?
That's a hard question. I think it depends on the moment, So like when it comes to use of force and stuff, that's going to be hard for me. Where it comes to like, I'm very passive when it comes to some things. So, but physically, it could be mentally hard too. But I remember Captain telling us slow repetitiveness of just doing it every day, and it'll slowly get better. And plus, I remember you telling us it was a mental thing too. It'll help us out mentally, just running. And I enjoy that too. But I think like you said, the statutes and bylaws and con law, and that's all mental for me. Yeah, just making sure you do a good job. But for Craig, it'll probably be mental, since, like I said, he's a little Usain Bolt we got in here.
It's I think the mental aspect would retain more to like what more than like the physical aspect, because the physical aspect is important, but you can be the most fit guy in the world and not know what you're doing. So I think the mental aspect would definitely outweigh.
Something I really liked seeing early on when we were doing the PT was you guys really bonded well, I think, as a class, and you encouraged each other. Maybe a guy was running a little bit slower than the other ones and kind of getting close to his time or whatever, but as a group, you all kind of, circled around him and was like, hey, come on, you got this, and even ran with them. And so, you get a lot of other benefits out of that too, encouraging each other, because, there's going to be some hard days out there on the streets when you're on the squads, and that's the same thing you got to do. When you see a guy struggling, whatever it may be, maybe he's, not picking up a certain aspect of his job well, and you're going to encourage him and help him or her and make them better. So,
yeah, I think this job brings a lot of people come to the job because they like that brotherhood, the fraternal bonds that develop. You're having challenging tasks that you're having to work together on, working with the community together on. I mean, there's a lot of challenges out there, and it really does build bonds like that, I think, and that's rewarding in itself, just friendships that you develop and everything. So what's the most challenging thing that has been so far since you started the academy?
Con law.
Constitutional law?
Yeah. Statutory.
I remember that one being a pretty significant test. It was pretty difficult.
Yeah, I'd say state laws as well. There's a lot of stealing when they combine all that together and stuff like that. It's hard to keep up with sometimes, especially like you were telling us how they change it every year. It's some stuff, not everything, but laws, tests and laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just for the folks listening that may not know, there's different levels of stealing. There's misdemeanor stealing, there's felony stealing, there's robbery, there's burglary, and you guys have to know what classifies a felony and a misdemeanor stealing, what classifies a burglary, what aspects of the crime have to be committed for it to fit that, and you have to know all of those different layers, and it can be a lot to try to retain.
Yes.
Yeah, all those statutes have a number of elements in there, and when you're out on the scene trying to evaluate all that stuff, and you got to write the report and arrest the person, did they meet? Is this a crime, or is it? I mean, the intent is often a big issue for sure. Like, what is the person? Is this an accidental deal, or was it intentional property damage, or whatever? So can be challenging for sure.
Then once you get out there in the street and you actually get to put all of this information that you've been told and taught into practice, and you make that, you go out on that call and you listen to what everybody says, and you make that arrest or whatever, and you sit down and you apply all these things that you learn, then it starts to click for you. Like, that's when you have that aha moment. Okay, yeah, this does make sense. I am picking this up now. So, like I said, you're gonna have those moments when you panic, but it'll all work itself out.
That's another good thing about working here and going through the academy here, is that we also have guys here that we know that we can ride along with. So it's easier for us to say, hey, can I ride with you today?
Now, how's that been going? Because I know Captain Haskin come up and asked about that, and because you're obviously not out of the academy, and he said, hey, it'd be really good, for like we do ride-alongs for citizens. These guys actually work for us, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And I was like, no, I think that's a good suggestion. And so is that working well?
Yes, yes.
So how does that work exactly? How do y'all do that?
So how I've been doing it is I will ask first the person that's working. Like I'll check the schedule and see if they're working, and then I might go to the on-duty supervisor and ask, hey, would it be okay if I rode with so-and-so? They say yay or nay, and then I'll go to that person and say, hey, I checked with your supervisor. Do you mind if I ride with you?
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that because I know when I started, I didn't do any ride-alongs. I rode along with my field training officer, and I had his perspective. You know what I mean? And he was a good field training officer, but you're only getting one perspective. I mean, there's many different types of officers out there for sure. And without going into all that, there's just, everybody knows there's just, some are really heavy into traffic, some aren't, some are, investigations, some aren't. So what's your experience been so far?
My experience is it's been good. I mean, I can't say that I've had too many like stressful situations or anything like that.
Right.
But most of the calls that I've seen revolve around traffic stops.
Yeah.
Because when people
that's probably the most
along,
common thing that's happening. Yeah.
And they're more eager to get it so that I can learn from it.
Yeah. Have you gotten a lot of different perspectives? How many times have you done it? Let me ask you that.
So through the academy, through the start, I really didn't ride along that much, but here towards the end, I'm starting to try and ride with different people more. Yeah. And
trying to plug everything together
getting different perspectives as well.
Vance, have you done that any?
I have, not as much as Craig, but it helped a lot with situational questions. Reading license plates a lot harder than I thought.
So do they, man, I hate how they do license plates now, because used to, what was it? They'd have numbers and then letters back in the day. It made it so much easier. I can look at an 8, like is that an 8 or is it a B? I can't tell. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's all mixed up
You're
now.
52.
My eyes aren't what they used to be. Yeah, there's people complaining. He's been following me around. I can't see your plate. Yeah. That's all. I'm not following you. I'm just trying to read the license plate. But it does make it hard. I mean, and of course, I don't do that very much anymore anyway. But
so what kind of officers do you see yourselves being, when you're like, what is something that you think that you're really going to enjoy? What aspect of enforcement wise? Is it going to be traffic, or is it going to be like, investigating crimes, or like specifically, like if you get a call, are you going to, run with it and try to find a suspect and process the scene? What do you think is going to really interest you out of the gate?
When Lieutenant Johnson and Sergeant Cliff came over and talked about, type 2 and type 1 operators and DUIs, I think I want to do that. That's, I know it looks hard. And I'm not going to be good at it at the beginning, but that interests me a lot. Just the whole SFST aspect of it, and the, I don't know, I think it's kind of goofy, kind of watching cops. That's one of the main aspects of it, but yeah, definitely DUIs and traffic. I think that's
DUIs, DWIs, and what's the difference between a type 2 and a type 3 operator?
Oh,
this is your test, right?
Your type 3s are your normal enforcement,
right?
Your SFSTs and not your SFSTs, your breath related stuff for alcohol. So you got your type 2, which you can repair the machine. Instrument. You can repair the instrument. It's not a machine, it's an instrument. Sergeant Cliff's going to get me in trouble. Talk about being new. But and then your type 1 is going to be your scientists and stuff that I guess have theories on everything about that.
Yeah, so you have that breath, just for their listeners, you have that breath analyzer, and you have to go through a certain class to be able to use that, and that's the type 3, right, just to use it. Now, if you're going to be an instructor on it and actually fix the instrument and everything like that, of course, you got to be a type 2. So we have a few type 2s. Most of them are type 3s. But if you're going to work DWIs and DUIs, you really need to know that stuff, that standard field sobriety test and all that stuff. So
I've always told everybody that when I first started out in law enforcement, I was really into DWI cases. And I'm super impressed that you knew all the differences between that, and that you referred to the breathalyzer as an instrument.
I was waiting for Broom to correct you, because I was just
waiting. I was getting ready.
I heard Sergeant Cliff on my head like, no.
It was very drilled into us. That it's not a machine.
No, that's really good. And I always tell everybody, I said, I want you to think about this. Everybody's super intimidated by a DWI case because there's so much paperwork to it. and it's such a detailed report. I mean, you're talking about you're going to cover in your report, the reasons why you pulled them over, like whether they were weaving or driving without their headlights. You document that. Then when you activate your lights, you're going to document, did they pull right over? Did they continue? Did they drive over the curb? What they did then. Then you're going to document what you see. Were their eyes bloodshot and glassy? Did I detect an odor associated with intoxicants? You're going to document when you ask for their driver's license. Did they hand you your driver's license right away? Did they hand you their credit card? There's so much documentation in a DWI report, and I always tell everybody, if you base every police report you write off of a DWI report with the details, you will write an excellent police report, like a burglary. If you use that same principle when you write that burglary report that you did a DWI report, you're going to write an excellent burglary report. Yeah,
it's just being detailed, really, what it is. I mean, those cases, some people don't really want to be that detailed, and they'll shy away from that stuff, which is a shame because there's problems out there for sure. But
I'm sure you guys have learned this. If it's not documented in your report,
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to go to court, and then a defense attorney is going to ask you questions about that, and you didn't document in your report.
Yeah, you look kind of stupid if you say that.
Right.
I can tell you've been teaching this class because you're kind of giving a class right now.
Am I?
You're teaching today, aren't you?
I mean, he got me super excited when he went into detail about the differences between the operators of a breathalyzer.
That's why I asked the question. I was kind of surprised, like, dang, they must be teaching us.
You were setting him up for failure.
I called Craig before the class. I'm like, we got to study. Captain's going to be in here, man.
So what are you teaching today?
Miranda warnings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it's when you give Miranda and when you don't, and there's a difference in being in custody and being detained, and when a person's free to leave. And
it's often misunderstood by the public. Often.
Typically somebody will always say, "Well, you didn't read me my rights." Well, I didn't ask you any incriminating questions.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm excited.
So do you feel like, you're, how many months is it? We're like 7, 8 months into the academy. It's a 9-month academy.
Yeah, I believe
8 months.
8 months,
yes.
Looking back on all the stuff that you learned, do you feel like that, has it changed you personally at all? Or, a different perspective?
It's given me a much wider perspective because I was a lot more narrow-minded about the police, and now I know that there's so much more that goes into it.
Yeah, and you hear that a lot. I hear a lot, even from some of my own family members. And I've been here 27, 8 years or whatever. But I remember early on that the perception was you stop cars, work accidents, or whatever. That's predominant, and we do so much more than that. It's just that's such a trivial part of what we do, and a lot of people don't realize that. And they don't think about it, that's just when they see us, you know what I mean? So
they only show the fun stuff on cops.
Yeah.
They don't show the hours later of you sitting there typing your reports when you should have been home 2 or 3 hours earlier. So
I tell you, that was something that I was surprised about is like there was so much writing. Just everything you do, you're writing a report on it practically,
I got a funny story I'm going to tell myself. When I was in high school, and this is how long ago it was when I was in school, because I'm old too. Chief is older than me by 2 months. But, I had a typing class in high school that was actually like a typewriter. I don't know if you guys know what that is. But
typewriter.
Yeah, a typewriter.
I missed that.
And, I had a teacher. The teacher one day, I wasn't not the best typewriter. You're supposed to type so many words a minute, and I was kind of frustrated with typing class. And she says, how important typing is, and I was like, listen, I'm never going to be. I don't even know why I took this typing class. And looking back now, I'm like, man, I type a lot.
It's a lot, especially, you've been in a detective division, like 80% of your time is like typing reports. Crazy. Which is really bad if you don't have good grammar or good spelling. You got a problem.
Yeah, there's a thing called spell check, and please use it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all those reports end up in court, and then attorneys are looking at those, and they make, I'm like, this guy's not even, you got good grammar, doesn't he have good grammar? Like, I messed that up. Doesn't have good grammar or spelling, the there's probably going to be some issues, or he's probably, because it shows intelligence. You know what I mean? I mean, people judge you for that, and then next thing you know, you're getting a subpoena and getting depositions where they might otherwise plead. So. Yeah.
And not only that, but when you type your probable cause statements into the court, that's public now, so people can read that online, and they're like, okay, this guy doesn't know the difference between there and there.
Yeah.
So,
I've known a lot of great cops that were just terrible at typing. They were awful. They were great cops, but no doubt caused some issues. So
I think telling myself, I think my spelling and grammar is fine. I am just a very slow typer.
Well, you'll get faster.
yeah, you will. You'll get a lot of practice.
I am very slow
you'll
at
get
typing.
faster.
Yeah.
Well, what else we need to ask about?
I don't know. I just kind of like to wing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
know?
think?
Do you know who your field training officers are going to be?
Yes, I know who mine is going to be.
Mr. Riddle for me, Officer Riddle.
Oh yeah, you said that. That's right.
And Fobbs will be mine.
Fobbs been on here. He does a good job.
Yeah,
Will that be his first one?
Yeah, he was. He kind of got voluntold that he was going to train where, and when we do, we pair up our recruits with our training officers. We always try to kind of mesh same type of personalities, and so I thought he'd be a good fit with Ware. And Fobbs didn't know this yet, but he walked by the office the other day. I was like, hey, you're going to be training Ware, and he was a little apprehensive about it because he does a really good job, but he's just like, this is the first time. He's like, I'm still kind of new. I was like, listen, if I didn't trust you and think you do a good job, I wouldn't tell you. So,
yeah,
I think it'd be good.
Mama says those who can do get to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what she says. So, have you given thought to this? Because I find that I hear people talk about this. I came in here and I wasn't from Sykeston. You guys are, and you're going to be policing people that you grew up with. What's your thoughts about that?
I worked in the jail for a little bit, so I experienced that. It's awkward for sure, but I'm going to kind of say what kind of Fob said on this last podcast was, you got a job to do, and I hope that doesn't penetrate our relationship at all. I understand if you're going to be a little bit hurt at the day because everybody has feelings, but later on, I hope you won't see me in public and be rude about it. So, but yeah, everyone has a job to do.
And some of that will happen.
Oh yeah.
Some people will.
It will.
And a lot of people understand. They get it. So, what about you, Craig?
I completely agree with Vance. There's that.
You just said what he said.
Yeah. What he said. The words.
Yeah. I got some notes here. I do have a rapid fire question, which I kind of several of those, but let's just go to those. I want to go to those.
Yeah, that's kind of thing. Let's just rip into that.
Let's just rip into that. So this says, Craig, we're going to alternate here. We're just going to go back and forth. Craig, I'm going to go with you first. What's the first thing you noticed when you stepped into the academy?
What's the first thing I noticed?
Yeah, most impactful thing.
That I knew everyone. I knew everyone that was in the academy because they'd all been hired.
Yeah, I've been. That's kind of good because you don't have other people coming in there. So
A little level of comfort there.
Yeah. Not so afraid you're going to embarrass yourself and things like that. Yeah. Vance, favorite physical training drill?
Oh man,
I missed it.
I used to run a lot when I played soccer, so running, I enjoy running. So yeah. I'm not a fast runner, but I'm an endurance runner. So yeah.
What about your least favorite PT drill?
There's a least favorite.
Yeah, your least favorite.
I'll probably say the push-up portion.
Yeah. How about most challenging academic topic? We kind of talked about that a little bit.
I'm gonna go back to the DWI. I agree with that. I like challenge. So yeah, that was hard, especially it's so technical, like you said. Every little aspect you have to note. So yeah, I'd say that.
So we the Sheriff Association is doing an academy here in Sykeston in cooperation with the SCTC, and we got 4 new recruits that we're sending to that, which has it started?
Yes,
It has started.
on the
Monday.
12th,
Yeah,
I believe.
Monday. Yeah. So what is today? Wednesday. So it started 2 days ago or whatever. So if you were going to give this, Craig, this is you. If you're going to give those recruits advice about the academy, what would you say to them?
It's going to be hard, but you will get all of the training that you need. They will not. They will not let you wear the badge, wear the uniform without the proper training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. You know, it's a lot. I mean, I think it's a lot when you think, man, I got 4.5 months. I got to stay in here or whatever. I guess there's just 4.5 months.
Yeah, they graduate in May.
Yeah, they're going to graduate fast.
Yeah, because they're going 5 days a week or whatever. So,
yes.
Yeah. You guys going 4 nights a week or something like that, give or take?
Yeah.
You know, it really fluctuates, but yeah.
That's a rough estimate.
Yeah, I think some of the nights you were there until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah. Or like Saturday and Sunday, you'd be there for about 10 hours
Saturdays
each.
and Sundays, usually, when we would have class on Saturdays and Sundays, it'd be 8 to 5.
Yeah.
So what's we kind of touched on this a little bit, but we got the public safety model where we do police and fire. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts about that? Do you like that? You don't like that?
I can't really have an opinion on it yet.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I haven't done the police part, but I like traditionalism. So, yeah. I mean, I understand it. But, man, I like fire. So
yeah.
But, I understand that, and I do, and I enjoy it. It's obviously worked for however long you guys done it.
Now, you did some fire before, didn't you? Were you at Morehouse?
Only for a little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd say about 4 months. So, yeah, I was still new to everything, but, yeah.
So, Craig, on the fire subject, what is your most favorite call that you've had so far?
My favorite call.
Or most impactful, however you want to look at it.
So, yeah, I'll go with that one. That's a little better wording.
Yeah.
Most impactful was probably the one of my Mayday calls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
You're saying like where you're inside and you're hollering for Mayday?
Me and Sergeant at the time, Sergeant Jenkins. He's now lieutenant, but
you got in a tight spot.
We did very very tight spot, and it got very hot very fast.
Yeah.
And Lieutenant now Jenkins was telling me that he was getting annoyed with me because the only thing that I could say to him without freaking out was that, Sarge, it's getting real hot in here. Yeah. And I said it about 25 times without even realizing it.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I did not like absolutely lose everything in my mind was because it was him.
Yeah.
He is the calmest person that I've met in a while. He just showed nothing, called the Mayday like he was calling his best friend.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I can see that. He's a very calm person for sure. I remember when he did his promotional interview, I think it was for Sergeant, and it was bizarre, honestly, truth be told, at his chief's interview that I'm like, this dude's like he's been a supervisor for years. That's how he was answering that. I still remember that because it was just, he wasn't a supervisor. You know, he hadn't been a supervisor. And I was like, this dude, man, he should have been a supervisor 5 years ago or something like that, you know, because he's done a great job. He hasn't disappointed for sure, you know. But how about favorite meal at the not the academy, the firehouse? Y'all cook for each other?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially me and new hire, old Mr. Travis. Steaks, probably.
Y'all take turns doing that or what?
Yeah, he's been showing me how to smoke meats lately, and that's my new hobby.
Who is that?
Travis Schleniger is his name.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've met him yet.
He's a good dude.
He's one of the newer guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, going to police division now, you're going to be lucky to get a soggy
That's what I'm
gas
saying.
station
I'm like
turkey sandwich at 3 o'clock in the morning. You ain't getting those steaks over here in patrol division.
Officer Harrington told me I loves hot dog at 3 in the morning. Tastes like a
tastes like heaven.
When Nathan Lane was going through his FTO, Danforth was his field training officer, and it was one of those days where Danforth was intentionally stressing him. And I go in there and just Lane looks sick, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm starving to death. FTO Danforth won't let me go get anything to eat till I get all these police reports done." And I was like, "Danforth," I was like, "Let the guy get something to eat, you know, so he can concentrate, get these reports done." He's like, "Nope." He's like, "You got to do every one of these reports before he gets anything to eat." So I went home, went to my house, made Lane a turkey sandwich, put mustard on it, cheese, you know, and I bring it into Lane. I'm like, "Here's your turkey sandwich and a soda, you know, while you're doing these reports." He takes a bite of the sandwich. He's like, "I don't like mustard." He didn't want mustard on his turkey
Take
sandwich.
it back.
It's a man of values right there. Yeah.
Y'all don't do any like tricks or jokes or harassment on each other. I say harassment. I mean,
Yeah, that was
in a loving, loving.
Yeah.
HR is probably not listening to this. Hopefully. Yeah.
No, never.
No, never. Absolutely.
Is there any shenanigans? Let me say that in the academy. Y'all do any of that?
In the academy, I don't believe so in the academy.
Yeah.
good.
I do not believe that.
But since we all work together anyway,
We had all kinds of shenanigans
Yeah.
in the academy. We had
Yeah,
fun.
I disagree with that. I don't know where Craig's been, but break time, every break time. Yeah.
What I just learned is Craig's the problem.
Yeah.
Craig's the one's doing all the shenanigans.
what?
Yeah. When I was in the academy, we had they still had chalkboards. So
Somebody kept putting chalk dust in somebody's seat, didn't they?
it was kind of funny, because we did that. It's like 30 years ago, but we'd take a break and we'd take a little bit of chalk dust and put it.
They don't even know what chalk is.
Yeah, there's chalk dust in a chalk tray where the chalk goes, and you get like chalk dust, and
you had a
everybody's
chalkboard?
wearing like navy pants, BDU pants, and you'd sprinkle it in somebody's seat, and you can't see it because those seats were white. And then, but after like the fourth break and chalk ended up in people's seats, they'd end up outside and they got chalk all over their butts and stuff. And they're all like, "What is going on? What's happening?"
We didn't have iPhones to entertain ourselves, so we had to resort to chalk.
Oh yeah. That's true. I mean, that's right. Yeah, I guess So there was a lot of that going on. In a loving way. We all took our turns trying to entertain each other. So.
Yeah, no, nothing like that whatsoever. No.
Craig's the problem. That's what yeah. Well, this is going to be pretty interesting. I'm really looking forward to, we got 10 or 11 coming out of the academy. We're going to start plugging you guys in, and you are going to get a front row seat to life in the big city of Sikeston. So, and it's fun learning. I mean, it's fun learning about the job, I'm going to say this up front because my experience is you spend so much time learning the technical aspects of the job that it's easy to forget the emotional aspect and the compassion and the empathy and stuff like that. I didn't do that really. I think most people are like that because you get you're not thinking about that. You're trying to figure out how to actually write the ticket, write the DWI report, and all this time. And it's what came secondary to me, what I learned later after I became competent in doing those things was how this was affecting the person, whether it's a victim, suspect, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just a bug in your ear. I mean, just keep that in mind when you're out there working, You got any advice?
Oh, I got lots of advice.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody asked
You should probably write that down. Let me read it first.
No, I'm just going to say this is it's okay. It's appropriate. What my advice to you guys starting out is, and I wish I would have done this when I first started, was every day a journal. Okay. And so whenever you go home at the end of the day, write in a journal, whether it's, a few sentences or whatever, what stuck out to you that day. And 20 years, 25 years later, 30 years later, you can go through that journal and you can see those little moments that you had every day, and it's pretty neat. And I didn't have that realization until this was several years ago. I stumbled across a bunch of my old notepads that I had. We keep notes all the time, carry these little notepads, going to different calls or whatever. And I found some from like when I first started, and I was just kind of flipping through them, look at the names and some of the things that happened, and started remembering some things that I forgot, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I always threw mine away.
Yeah.
And even when 6 years ago when I became chief, if I would have started that, I would have a couple books by now. I mean, just different stuff that's happened. Yeah. And, it's.
Yep. Another thing, my other advice to you is invest in your retirement early. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know. I was just telling Trisha, I was like, it's a new year. I got to put more money in a Roth IRA, and because I haven't been really doing that,
Yeah. Retirement.
Trying to
and
catch
a journal.
up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do y'all want to talk about? Y'all have questions for us. This is your opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just looked at him like, Vance, are you going to ask?
I'll let Vance take that one.
This wasn't the game plan, Craig. I get
Like, here's our opportunity.
Yeah.
My biggest question is, obviously family. This job is hard to uphold, like marriages and
Right.
stuff like that. That's my biggest worry, because you have two loves in your life, and obviously this isn't just a job.
Yeah.
This is going to be something that we're doing because it's a passion. We're not NFL players over here making millions of dollars doing this, so it's like the balance
Right.
of that, So like, I'm obviously not asking for a normal life of scheduling and stuff like that, but it's been good so far. I'm engaged. I've been dating her for about 5 years, Georgia. But my thing is like when I am a cop and you have those hard days, like CIT, I'll never forget this. You get those hard days, and Cap was like, just go home and tell her, I don't want to talk about this right now, but later, like, come up to me. And that sounds easy to say, but I was thinking, like, that sounds harder than it really is. So my question is, going back to that is, how do you guys do it? Like, how do you guys just go home and...
You're probably asking the wrong people.
Yeah, marriages, I've had a couple, so I don't know how the advice I'd give on that. But no, I think honesty really is the biggest thing now. My current marriage, I think that's the biggest thing that's helped me is just being honest. When you have that bad day, you just come home and say, listen, I may be a little testy, I may be in a bad mood today, but it's nothing that you did or, nothing that your kids did.
I do that. I do that. I generally don't want to go home and relive it and talk about it. And I think it's kind of, I know they do say that in class. I'm just like, for me, that doesn't work well, because if you bring that up, at least with my wife, she'll ask me questions like, well, this and that. Now I got to answer all those questions. And then next thing you know, my phone's ringing, and then somebody's got, and I talk nonstop. And I just, at some point, I want to compartmentalize, I guess, because I do think, I don't know if that's healthy or not, but that's what I like to do is like just, if as much as I can, is kind of push that off that way. Now, but I do think you got to say, hey, I had a bad day. This is not, and it's not anything to do with y'all, because I can find myself where I'm getting, I sound agitated. I'm not agitated, but I sound that way, because it's the stress or whatever, My daughter tells me, he's like, Dad, you yell at me all the time. I'm like, this is just how I talk. What are you talking? I'm not yelling at you. I'm like, but I don't know. It's challenging for sure, which I think is what that PT is important for. I don't do a lot of running, but I have been doing a lot of walking lately, and I think, man, that has helped tremendously. I mean, it really has as far as dealing with stress and just kind of recentering yourself. I mean, it's kind of stupid how much a walk. I mean, if you walk like 3 or 4 miles or something like that, it's 45 minutes to an hour, which is about 15 minutes for a mile or something like that. So, I mean, it really clears up the mind. It helps quite a bit. I can tell a difference when I don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Most people don't realize how much doing a little bit for a little bit more of time can actually help.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 30 minutes a day. That's all you need, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember when Harley Reeves was over in our squad, and we go to the YMCA with him, and if you guys don't, obviously people watching, he's Superman pretty much. It's just big guy.
Yeah.
He had me in the YMCA just killing me. I couldn't even feel anything. I'm like, if we get a fire, I'm going to be a victim too. It's going to be bad. But it did feel nice. I got to get back into that. And mine is just procrastination. That's my biggest part about it.
Well, fire, you carry so much weight. Yeah. I mean, that's where I really noticed it when I was a lot younger then too. But I don't know how many pounds, but that SCBA, the gear itself, the boots, even the helmet. I mean, it's a lot of weight that you're carrying. And then you got to pick up an axe or a pike pole and do work with that, man, and you get wore out quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, wearing that SCBA, I know when talk about controlling your breathing and stuff like that, man, you can literally get that pack on and get the hose and get to the front door and get entry into the house and then already be gassed. And then now you got to go find the fire and fight it. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God forbid you had to drag somebody out with you.
Yeah. So guess what happens? You get in there, you get in there and run out of air. What do you do?
That's why we got 4 or 5 guys that go in with us.
Yeah.
Man, I've never seen any more breath control than Sergeant Whitley. I've been in there and I've been through 2 bottles and he's still like 300 psi and he's good. But
My bottle would have like ice on the outside.
That mine actually did. Yeah,
because I'm sucking so much air out of there, it will literally frost on the.
Well, it's a good conversation. I enjoy this. I haven't spent a lot of time around the academy, but really looking forward to that graduation.
Yeah.
What day's the graduation?
I can't remember.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be the 19th.
The 19th. Okay.
And
we got to figure out how we're going to do that.
we haven't received any additional information besides the day.
Yeah. I know the 22nd
figure that
is
out.
your first day on the streets.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Yeah. 22nd of February.
So we can do some social media posts or something like that, you know.
Yeah. This reminds me, you being your first day on the street. We had an officer start here several years ago, Jeffrey Smith. I don't know if y'all remember him or not.
Yeah.
But,
I do.
he was an Eagle Scout, young guy, comes in, he's from St. Louis area, starts here, and he walks in. And when you say Eagle Scout, I mean, if you envision what an Eagle Scout looks like, it was this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jeffrey, I was like, welcome to Saxon DPS. Today is the last day that you'll ever remember Jeffrey Smith as you've always known him. You are going to be a completely changed man. And he told me about a year or so later, he's like, you're 100% right.
Man, that's no joke because you found that video when I was going through our training, defensive tactics, and I got sprayed with OC spray. And it was
That was
bad.
hilarious.
It was bad. We're getting that on digital. Some of the people that were in that.
The best part of that is Dennis Irwin was the instructor at that
Yeah.
time. And,
wow.
Well, we don't have to get into
Yeah, no, I'm
detail.
getting into it. And so, they do the decon on
Yeah.
him, and they're trying to, clean him up. And Dennis Irwin, of course, the reason why you get pepper sprayed is to feel the effects of it in case
Right.
you actually get
Yeah.
sprayed.
So you
by it.
develop some empathy for
Oh, yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I
And,
felt was pain.
So Captain Irwin asked me, he says, how's your vision? Chief's like, well, I can't really see. And he's like, but I wear glasses.
He said, "Is it blurry?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I wear glasses and I don't have them on today." So
Oh man.
thanks, John. But what I was going to say, back to my original thought, was I look at that guy on video and think, man, it was so long ago. And it's not just the time period, but it's just I remember how I used to think about things and how I think about them now. I mean, it's just like you said, you're a totally different person, Then I was 24 years old, so.
Yeah, it was funny. He's just a big country boy.
Yeah. Good looking guy.
I don't know. You weren't very handsome with that pepper spray in your face.
Yeah. You are on your best behavior, aren't you? Yeah.
When's your birthday?
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I guess that's all we got today. We're about at our time limit. So what I didn't say early on, I should have said, if you want to email us at chief.cap.chap@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. If you got show suggestions, send them to us. We may get them in here. We may not. I don't know. If we don't like them, we won't. But if we do, we will. That's what I say. But that's about it. We just kind of want to give everybody insight on the academy and 2 new guys that's going to be serving the community and working in patrol that you will see out in the public very soon. They're excited about it.
I got one last question for you. If there's somebody young out there and they were possibly interested in getting into law enforcement or public safety, what would you say to them to get them here?
I would say that it's like Van said, it's more than a job. You're not only doing this, you're definitely not doing it more for a paycheck because there's a lot of other higher paying jobs, but it is definitely one of the most fulfilling. Just getting out into the public, what you're doing, and who you're serving. It's definitely you're getting a lot more than just a job.
Yeah. I mean, this job's a trade-off, So a lot of 21-year-old kids or guys. Although I think I still think I'm a kid sometimes the way I act. But
Yeah.
Well, you're 21.
I know, but it's hard. It makes you feel like you're not doing enough or you're doing enough at the same time. But it's definitely a trade-off because, like you said, that the fraternity in this of just pure support in general that Saxon has to offer, which I'm happy with. A lot of the mental health aspects that you still don't see in this common day with other departments. I'm not saying around here at all. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying that it's still kind of a rarity of everybody getting along. In a sense, I know sometimes a lot of people don't get along on some days, but in the generalization of things, yes, it's fun, but there's also a trade off to it.
I do think, I mean, there's always work to be done for sure, but I was talking to Tricia about this the other day. It seems like that internal cultural morale is probably as good as I've seen it. You know what I mean? Lots of good supervisors, lots of good officers. I mean, just kind of me and from my office looking out, you know, and that's not. We just got a lot of good people, I think. You know, I mean, really, not that we didn't in the past, we did. We had, but it was just a different time. I mean, like culturally, I think all these things that we're looking out for each other, the peer support, the mental health, we serve each other better so we can serve the public better, you know, and that's generally what we're doing, I think. So
Big time, yeah.
Seems to be working. It does. So.
Yep. So if you're a young person, come join us.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's about all we got for today. Thank you guys for coming in here. I know it's kind of intimidating to come in here and talk, you know, even though you shouldn't be intimidated.
I like to talk, so
Yeah.
it's perfectly
Well, you
fine.
did
I'm
great.
glad you invited
Yeah.
Craig. Yeah.
I like to talk.
You did great, yeah. But I guess we will see you next time. And until then, John, tell them what they need to remember.
I'm on my best behavior, so I'm going to say take the high road.
Yeah, take the high road. There's a story behind that, and we'll tell you after we go off air. And it's kind of funny. I don't know.
I feel like
that's what Tigger says.
We got to tell them the story, though. We got to tell the public the story someday.
Someday. Yeah. This is season 2. This is year 2 of podcast. First one, January 14th. Mm-hmm.
Your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday. Second year, season 2, episode 1.
52.
We'll see you next time.